Hi everyone, welcome back to Google IT Support certification course. So, this is Vinay speaking with you. So, in the last classes, last sessions, so you came to know like lot of things like computer fundamentals, IT fundamentals, even you learned about networking fundamentals. Today, I am here to talk about what is system administration. Now, if you are a IT expert, maybe if you got a job as a IT expert, IT professional in an organization, one of the responsibility of this IT expert is administrating the systems, administrating the computers. Now, this administrating the systems, we will call it as system administrators. Now, what are the responsibilities of this system administrator? Hardly speaking, there are three major responsibilities. First responsibility, planning and designing the network. Now, this system administrator, he is the one who has to make sure, like he has to assess everything. Like you want to start a new organization, so how many number of computers this organization needs? How many number of employees are there? So, do they need to connect to internet or not? All these things, this as system administrator, he is the one who has to plan and design everything. Maybe he will do some paperwork, he will write down everything, and the next responsibility after planning and designing is implementing. He will configure everything. After configuration, after connecting all these machines, installing the required softwares, everything, services, the last responsibility is to manage. Now, when I say manage, troubleshooting. Sometimes users might not able to log into the office computers, or they are not able to access some services, applications. Now, who has to fix this problem? The one who configured, the one who planned, that is system administrator. Now, these are the responsibilities of a system administrator. Now, when I talk about implementing the services, applications, there are a lot of things like in an organization, you talk about any organization, it can be IT sector, IT industry, it can be pharmaceutical industry, it can be colleges, steel manufacturing industry. Even right now I am sitting in the studio, this studio, everywhere computers are there. Now, who manages these computers? We need a person to manage. So, that person will call him as system administrator. We will even call him as shortcut sysadmin. Now, what is responsibility majorly? He has to configure identity and access management servers. I will speak about that one later in a minute. He is the one who has to configure file storage. He is the one who might need to deploy web servers in the office, like a lot of things. There are so many responsibilities what the system administrator needs to do. For example, I talked about something like identity and access management service. Every organization will be having number of employees. So, you maybe small company 50 employees, big company thousands of employees. Now, all these employees will be working on their respective desktops. Now, all these desktops will be managed by a server. So, in the previous classes we already discussed about servers. Now, from one server, server is nothing but it is a robust machine, right, which is going to have a lot of hardware, more hardware. Now, from that server he manages, it can be 50 employees, it can be 1000 employees. From one server he will be managing everything. Now, every employee will be having a user account. Now, who will be creating these user accounts? Administrator, system admin. Now, where he will create? In the server. Now, that server we will call it as identity and access management server. Like for example, in Windows we have Microsoft Active Directory servers. In the coming classes we will talk about directory services. So, in this directory server, so the system administrator he will deploy, create user accounts. For example, a new employee come to the office. Immediately I will ask if I am the system administrator, I will be asking him what is your name. So, immediately with his username user, I will create a user account. Now, with this user account what I have created, he will work from his computer, laptop, desktop, whatever it is. Now, this server where I create this user accounts, everything, that server is called as Identity Access Management Server, example a domain controller, Active Directory server. Now, who configures this? System administrator. After that, as I mentioned, file storage. The system administrator has to configure file storage in the server, so that employees will be working on their respective projects. All the files, whatever they are updating, everything will be saved in the server. So, as administrator has to make sure all the employees are able to access this file storage. So, that is the responsibility, one of the major responsibility of a system administrator. Now, after that, maybe let us say for example, I said a web server. Now, I hope all of you know about websites, right? Websites, for example, every day we browse so many websites like Google, Facebook, Yahoo. Maybe let us say you are browsing some website in your home, www.google.com. Now, when you enter this URL in your browser, you will immediately get a web page in your computer. Now, that particular web page, is it present in your computer? No. It is present somewhere. Where? Maybe it can be present, where is this Google company? It can be present in US, Dubai. Now, we do not care, we do not bother about the location. So, whenever you browse, immediately you are getting a web page from where you are getting, from the Google server you are getting, from Google web server. Lot of people in the back end in the Google company are working to give you that web page. Those people also will call them as system administrators. So, their responsibility is to deploy these web servers. Now, every organization will have a website, right? Every company will have a website. Now, websites are very popular, like you are using for different purposes, e-commerce websites, like social networking websites, shopping websites, maybe something like net banking purpose. Lot of websites are there. So, every company has a website. So, in that particular company, who host these websites? Web administrators, the system administrators. So, his responsibility not only hosting the website, he has to make sure that website is continuously running 24/7 without any downtime. So, he has to make sure it is running perfectly. Like there are a lot of responsibilities are there for the system administrator. Now, any organization you name, like as I mentioned previously, it can be colleges, hospitals, anywhere system administrators are required, because everywhere computers are there, everywhere network is there. To manage this network, we need a person, we will call him as system administrator. So, as a IT expert, like IT professional, one of the major responsibility of this person is managing the systems. System administrator will do that. Now, let me take some examples. What is the system administrator will be doing? Like already we talked about identity and management servers, Active Directory servers. Okay, I already talked about file storage. So, I will discuss in detail in a minute all these things. We already talked about web servers. Okay, apart from this, let us take an example, something like a organization, like 50 plus computers are there. Now, in these 50 plus computers, everyone came to the office, they are working on their computers, respective computers. Now, I hope all of you familiar with wallpapers. Everyone can change wallpapers, right? Desktop wallpapers. Everyone can change. In the office, you can try, you can change it. But sometimes companies will have policies, organization will have policies. Like policies like whenever any employee come to the office, when they start the computer, everyone should have the same wallpaper. Every computer, all 50 or maybe 500, 5000, all employees should have the same wallpaper. Maybe the company name should be the wallpaper, or maybe the project what they are doing, that should be the wallpaper. But who is going to set that? Now, users, they want to keep their own wallpapers. Now, as a company's administrator, system administrator responsibility is to do that. Now, he will not go to every computer again. That is a tough administration. So, what he will do from the server, he will set the wallpaper to everyone. But how? For example, in Windows we have a feature called as group policies. As a system administrator, what this administrator will be doing, using group policies, he will set the wallpaper to everyone. Once you set the wallpaper using group policies, whenever employee come to the office, whenever he try to switch on this machine, immediately he will see his wallpaper. What wallpaper? The administrator, what wallpaper he has assigned. Everyone will get the same wallpaper. Even though they try to change, they can't change it. Like this, management of your users and computers, system administrator can do that from one server. In the coming classes, we will see how to do that. Or let us take an example, C drive. Everyone knows C drive, right? Every computer will have C drive. Now, what this C drive contains? C drive contains operating system files, OS files. Now, these employees in the office, unnecessarily they are creating some files in the C drive. C drive disk space will be full. Maybe in the future you want to install any application for the project, you can't install because C drive is full. You can't install any software in the computer. Now, this responsibility of system administrator comes into the picture. Now, what we came to know, system administrator, he is the one who manages, who monitors these computers and users. Now, what is the system administrator responsibility now? He has to make sure no one should open the C drive. He can do that. From the server, he will stop everyone from opening the C drive, which we will be learning how to do that. Once he done this, no one can open C drive. What else system admin can do? He can provide a drive from the server. Now, any project work you save in the drive, not in the C drive. Like lot of things the system administrator can do to manage and monitor these computers and users in your office. Okay. So, like best example, as I said, group policies. Using group policies, like you can block C drives. Okay, you can even set a wallpaper. You can provide softwares also. Like for example, new project came to the office. Okay, so employees need to work on this new project. This new project requirement is new applications. So user is not able to install any application, or maybe he don't know how to install. So again, the system administrator responsibility comes. Now what he will do, from the server he will provide the softwares. Like any organization you name, it can be a small company, it can be big company. You talk about Google, you talk about Facebook, Microsoft, big industries, small industries, medium industries, everywhere system administrators will be there. So what is the responsibility? So managing and monitoring these computers. Okay. Now let's take an example like file storage. Like every user, end user will be working on their laptops, desktops. Sometimes management will purchase some computers with very less disk space. That means they don't have enough hard disk space to store their files, projects, everything. Again, system administrator responsibility comes here. Now what is responsibility now? From the server, he will give some space to all these users. So technically we will call it as a network drive, which we will learn in the coming classes how to set that. Once I set this network drive, whenever user logged into the computer, he will see C drive, but already we came to know C drive will restrict to access. So any data you want to store, you store in the network drive, what administrator will provide from the server. So all the users will store all the data in this network drive, and where it is stored in the server. Now this is file storage. That means you don't go to every computer and collect the employees data. We will make sure all the data is stored in the server, but how we will see in the next classes. So like these are the different types of responsibilities of a system administrator. Now everyone is talking about cloud computing now. Now as a system administrator, you should also know about what is this cloud. Now cloud is nothing but you keep all your data applications, everything in other companies' data centers like Google data centers, Microsoft data centers, Amazon data centers. So why I am trying to raise this point cloud? Because in the last 5 years, so cloud became very big game changer in the technology. As a system administrator, so you will be having the work on the cloud also. You have to make sure all your employees, all your applications, all the employees data, everything is safe and secure. So, best practice is nowadays is cloud. So, you are keeping everything in the cloud. So, system administrators nowadays they are even working on cloud also. Okay. So, like most of the companies requirement is system administrators nowadays. So, what are the responsibilities? I said, like we talked about identity access management servers like domain controllers. Now, what is actually this identity management servers? As I said, you will create all the users, everything in the server. Now, this user, whatever you create in the server, they can log in from every computer, any computer in the office. But how do you configure that? So, we will learn when I talk about directory servers in the coming classes. Okay. So, next file servers, after that web servers, DHCP servers, DNS servers, okay, storage servers, VPN servers, like there are so many responsibilities for the system administrators. So, apart from configuring, so their responsibility is also troubleshooting. So, whenever user is not able to log in, or whenever sometimes user even might forget his passwords also. This is most commonly a thing happening in every organization. Every day, someone will be forgetting the password. Now, who has to reset the passwords? Administrators. System administrators will be doing that. Okay. So, after that, now from where we will be doing this resetting the passwords means identity servers like domain controllers. Okay. So, this active identity and access management servers, even they provide you single sign on also. That means, with one username password you can log in from any computer in the office. In the old days it used to be peer to peer model. Now, peer to peer model, it is a big headache to the administrators. So, everyone want to move toward this domain model. Okay. So, we will talk about even domain model, how to configure. All these responsibilities are related to the system administrators. So, as IT expert, IT professional, so you should be aware about the hardware basics. You already came to know about fundamentals of network. So, apart from that, so your responsibility is to manage and monitor these computers also. Okay. So, next we have file servers. In the file servers there are a lot of things we can do. You want to monitor all the files what users are creating, you can do. As a system administrator, you might need to monitor all your applications, all the files what users are creating. Sometimes your manager will be asking you at what time user created the files, I want a report. At what time user deleted the files, I want a report. So, you can do that as a system administrator, you have to do that, but how, that we will learn in the next sessions when we meet, how to implement all these things. Okay. So, the bottom line what I am trying to say here is, so every organization will be having computers, users, servers, applications, softwares. Now, who is the one responsible for managing, monitoring all these things is the administrator. That person we will call him as a system administration. Okay. So, I hope everyone is clear what is the system administration. So, when we meet in the next session, so we will be talking about directory services in detail. So, thank you everyone.
హాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఎంత పెద్ద ప్రయాణమైనా ఒక్కడుగుతోనే మొదలవుతుంది.
ఎంత పెద్ద ప్రవాహమైనా ఒక్క చుక్కతోనే మొదలవుతుంది.